Hey everybody, Damer and Mac here from OCR Kings, and tonight we're just talking about foot care. I don't know about you, but I've got all sorts of problems with my feet.
Me too.
Every race is a problem. I've spent a load of money on shoes. I'm always cycling through shoes just to figure out just what doesn't destroy my feet. I've lost countless nails. It was like just ridiculous. It's like the blisters, they happen. It was like, I don't know about you, I've got a problem where my second toe, the toe next to my big toe, is a little bit longer, and apparently it's pretty common from what I'm exploring on the internet. Wart's toe or Morton's toe, something along those lines. But especially on the downhills, when your foot's jamming into the front of your shoe, I've tried different lacing techniques, I've tried all sorts of stuff, and it's like, I'm finally starting to figure out a solution. So, me personally, it's like, I don't even know what these are. It says dancer pads. Kind of weird. I bought these on Amazon. I wind up cutting these up every time. And I put each one of these, and it's just a sticky back front cushion. I put this under my toe, and I cut it perfectly to my toe, and I wind up either putting a Band-Aid over the top or just taping around it so it doesn't fall off. And then the socks that I really like to wear are these ridiculously looking Injinji toed socks. No seams, no nothing, but each toe is separated, and I don't get any flash spots, I don't get blisters, I never have. Blisters have not been a problem. With these socks, I have gotten them before, and I actually have gotten during a marathon that I run where my nail actually dug into my next toe, and at the end of the race I took my sock off and the entire shoe was filled with blood. So it's like, so I've switched to these Injinji socks. I love them, but I do tend to wear the shorter ones. So I'm not a big fan of those the longer socks. They kind of come in two flavors, or three flavors actually. The no-show, which I would never wear. These are the low crew. And then they have ones that go all the way up your calf, which I think are too much. So I like wearing these. But if I know there's going to be a traverse, or there's going to be some where I may get that awful blister rub on the back of a traverse rope, it was like one of those bone frog, or some of the Spartans will show up with a traverse rope. I'll wind up wearing just a longer sock. And it really depends on what I'm wearing for my leggings. Am I wearing leggings? Sometimes I do. Or if it's going to be a hot day, I'll wear shorts. If I'm wearing shorts, then I do want to protect the back of my leg, especially during one of those traverse obstacles. So I'll wind up not going with the toes, and I will protect the back of my legs and my Achilles area from getting those rope burns. These are just Nike Hyper Elites, and these are from Stance. I think I got both of these at like a Dick's Sporting Goods. So they're pretty much retail. It's like nothing special, just come up a little bit higher, just basketball type socks. It was like when I wear those, I definitely pad up. I'll definitely use just like a little Band-Aids, med kit, tape up, cut these down, put it over my toes, and it absolutely helps big time, especially on those downhills. Those Spartan races, they send you up forever, and then guess what? You gotta come down, and then when you come down those long and you're trying to pick the pace back up, and your feet are just slamming into the front of your shoes, and it was like, I think I finally have a combination that works. My techniques are a little bit different than Max, so what do you got?
I like your socks. I've used them before for the Vibram or Vibram 5-finger shoes. I like them very much, but for races, they're a little weird for me. I can understand separating your toes, but I just just a little too uncomfortable for me. I go El Cheapo style. I get the packages of 3 and 6 from Under Armour. Under Armour infused cotton. Okay, they come to about sexy, yeah, about mid-calf. That'll protect you from like some of those rope traverses right over there. All right. They don't hold a lot of water, and you know what? They're dime a dozen. So they get smoked at the end of a race or the end of the season. Get rid of them. My toes, they hurt definitely on the downhill, but I get burns under the tips of my big toes, the ball of my foot, and my heels, both underneath and on the back. I've tried a couple of things. I did a tutorial or a recommendation one time on new skin. That's great, okay, but it doesn't provide enough coverage for me for the longer races. So I save new skin for when we train with the makiwara, or we're sparring, or we're punching something, for my knuckles and other little abrasions. So I've kind of replaced new skin with Leukotape. All right, I tried Trail Toes. It was good.
Here's the Trail Toes.
It's all right. It's like lubricant for your feet. It adds a little bit of friction removal, or a little buffer between you and the rubbing in your shoe. But Leukotape is like kind of like really super adhesive Kevlar for your feet. And this is not so much of a runner's trick or a marathoner's approach, which is great, especially when you're running OCRs. This is more of like an AT hiker's kind of thing. Leukotape, couldn't find it anywhere locally. Kind of looks like an ace bandage a little bit. That you gotta really pull on and rip really hard. Now for me, I apply 3 strips in each of my hot spots in what I call lorica segmentata, all right, like the Roman armor, like shingles on your house. Put one down, and I put one on top of that, slightly higher, and I put one on top of that, slightly higher. 3 pieces, works great. You feel nothing. Your feet are like bulletproof. Almost. Disclaimer, not really bulletproof. Okay. One word of caution though. This stuff will attract a lot of dirt while you're running, okay? If you're wearing black socks, like I tend to wear, you're gonna have black crud attached to this. When you go in the shower to hose off after your obstacle course race, you might make a little bit of filth and dirt in your tub or your shower. So try to take this crap off before you get in there. Highly recommended Leukotape. So this has been Mac and Damer for OCR Kings doing a little foot care review. Test out how you're going to take care of your feet in advance so that when you go out and run your race, you have a good time. Feet are in good shape and you're okay when you come home.